Hey guys, Kay here. Today we'll be playing Marrow in the Stockyards. There isn't much context, but it takes place in Toronto, 1928. We work in a slaughterhouse. There's going to be a lot of gore, blood, and rot. So, let's get the bacon. The Gala. Saturday, 8 December 1928, Toronto. You arrive at the King Edward Hotel in the 5 o'clock black of night. King Street is resplendent with electric light and the tower's 18 stories stand mighty, stark as a fortress. You enter the lobby. A 10-foot tall portrait of a young King George V looms. He is in his coronation robes with scepter and sovereign's orb in hand. His eyes are wide, his expression peevish, impatient. Mary? Oh, my, Howard. It's enough to take your breath away. Howard? You ride the elevator to the top floor, the crystal ballroom. The attendant's palm is upturned with tasteful subtlety. Place a penny into his gloved hand. We can say yes or no. Let's say yes. Thank you, sir. The gala is well underway, the crowd large, and you scan for a familiar face. A few couples dance on the floor, while the rest mill at the periphery, sipping sparkling wine. Really, I don't mean to be unkind, but who wants to listen to this? I suppose it's well enough for the reckless and young, but I do wish Romanelli would return to the violin. Do you know them? Know who? Those kids, dancing. No, they must be from head office. To be honest, I don't see anyone from guns. Not that you'd want to. You make your way to the hors d'oeuvres table, a buffet of cold rolled meats, liver pate, galettes, head cheese. Mary picks her way through a few bites. Do you make any of these at work? Sure, I made it all. I even set the table tonight. Haha. Oh, this is lovely. You should try it. Yeah, let's try it. A flaky, buttery cracker supports a wedge of creamed ham. A slice of slippery black pepper jelly crumbles between your teeth as you chew. The animal musk of the pork catches in your throat, and you have to force it down. Mr. Barnes? Howard! Quite glad to see that you've made it. Happy Christmas to you and yours. Here, let me introduce you to my wife, Agnes. Agnes, this is Howard Aspinall. How do you do, ma'am? Mrs. Agnes Barnes? Pleased to make your acquaintance, Mr. Aspinall. And this must be Mrs. Aspinall? Good evening. You can't let her offend him. Introduce him properly. Mary, this is Mr. Barnes. Oh, good evening, Mr. Barnes. How do you do? Quite well, if we can accept the choice in music. Well, it's certainly lively. You can say that again. What do you think they're playing for? The Cotton Club? Oh, how terrible. What a wit she has. Well, there's no use in complaining, I suppose. Tonight had ought to be rather gay. It's been a wonderful year, hasn't it, Thomas? Yes, splendid. The plant has really recovered under the new leadership. Wasn't it just last spring that you said this would be the end of guns? It's been quite the year. One never knows what the future holds. Mary, is it? When the Harris acquisition went through, Thomas called on every friend he had in search of another post. But I maintained that he was captain and no matter the state of the ship, he must stay strong. Of course, Mr. Barnes had wanted out. Men were being fired in droves until the plant could hardly function. If you'd had the choice, you would have looked for another job too. But all of the packing houses were in the same boat, and meat packing was the only work you knew. Oh, well, those were only growing pains. Winds up. I just had to tighten my belt until the merger smoothed everything over. We all tightened our belts. What is the mood on the floor these days, Howard? Bleak. You missed so many of your men, your friends, fired without cause after decades of service. They'd given sweat and blood, even their flesh and bone, to the plant. How had their year been? You lost touch after they were canned. You couldn't face them so long as you still drew a paycheck. You didn't want to know how they were holding up. Did their children have to scrounge for firewood after school to keep them from freezing to death in the night? It's much better, sir. We're back to business. Why, how industrious of you. Thank you, ma'am. Mary and Mrs. Barnes talk politics. Which candidates they think the Orange Lodge will put up for the next election. You can't imagine anything more boring. Into the ballroom, waitstaff roll a large cart covered by an immense silver cloche. With a flourish, the head waiter unveils a whole roast hog laying prone on a bed of greens with an apple in its mouth. The room breaks into the delighted applause of those who've gone their whole lives without ever seeing a pig. How fresh and frisky it looks. The beast is dead as they come. Indulge? No, I got a feeling that they might be human. Excuse me. The ballroom is hot and stuffy with sweat, smoke, and perfume. You must step out for fresh air. But you scan the walls to find that there is no balcony, no way out. You stick your head through an open window, facing east, bearing down on a dark alley that leads to King. Wind whips your cheeks, musses your hair, and cools the sweat on your neck. The noise of the gala is smothered as wind howls in your ears. You've never stood so tall in the city. You lean forward, far, staring straight down. The shadows below swell, rushing toward you. You grip the windowsill to convince yourself that you are not falling. The hotel's lights stretch toward the dark alley, interrupted by the shadows of carriages, cars, and something smaller. A figure, small as a child but quick as a stallion, darts from shadow to shade. It disappears into the dark as cars pass. When all is still, the thing runs again, skittering spider-like through the light. It hides again. In a flash, every shadow runs to the next. They stop. You lean further out to get a better look. The world below is still. You scarcely breathe. The shadows run and keep running. A smell, a festering rancid stench. Pig shit, an unctuous musk, scabbed blood and burnt hair. Your mouth waters, knuckles whiten, vision tunnels. Guns. Thursday, 20 December 1928. 10 to 7 in the morning. You sit in your car, facing guns. Another day of Christmas rush ahead. How do you spend your time? We can have a smoke or open early. Let's open early. Your shoulders hunch against the cold winds at your back, blowing north. They push you into work. Key in front door. You switch on lights, climb upstairs to the third floor, your floor. You unlock another door to the long, ramped runner that goes from the hog pens outside, all the way up to the stick pit. You are foreman of the killing floor. Workers clock in below, the punch of their cards in the time clock by the door. Their footsteps approach. I'm getting a weird feeling that we might be the one responsible for killing all of the workers, not them actually being fired. You hone your knives on the leather strap to calm your nerves. You hardly ever use them anymore, but they remind you who you are. You worked your way up, didn't you? You've done your time. Morning, McCrae. Morning, Popovich. Morning, Federici. The last two of you men walk in together, talking to each other in Polish. Morning, Orzek. Morning, Rodriguez. Orzek nods, heads off to set up his station. Joseph. Morning, boss. What you got in store for us today? Joseph Rodriguez, still shining bright-eyed after 5 years on the floor. He's been working for you since he was 18 years old. McCrae, how many hogs left in the pens last night? Got to be at least 100. Too early in the day for bullshit, McCrae. Double that, and we got to get them all done today. We got another car full in the stockyards waiting. 200 in a day, boss? 200, 10 hours, 20 every hour, 3 minutes each? What are you doing showing off? You know we always manage. But we're short 5 men. Keep dreaming, they ain't coming back. Okay, boss. His little laugh, his knowing eyes, he reminds you that you're human too. Alright, come on. The gang's all here, let's get going. McCrae, get your ass down there. I'm going. McCrae grabs his long-handled 3-pound sledgehammer and goes down to the pens. There, out of sight, he brings the hammer down on one of the hogs, concussing it. Once the beast is stunned, he leads it up to the ramp where he hoses it down before it enters the plant. What's the holdup down there, you lazy prick? Popovich and Federici hang the hog from its back ankles, its bindings looped into metal tracks that run along the ceiling. They drag it into the stick pick, where Federici sticks it in the neck, severing its carotid arteries. Its blood catches in the drain below. Go! Once drained, Popovich drags the hanging hog to the scalding basin, where it soaks in 145-degree water for 5 minutes. Whenever they get the time, Popovich hoses down the floor and Federici cleans any tools not in use. We're not getting paid to stand around. Rodriguez and Orzek work together to scrape the skin clean of hair and filth. They hang the hog at their station and attack it with dull, curved blades. Dark gray sludge sloughs off and falls through the grates at their feet to the floor beneath. Hurry up, you bastards. Orzek takes a blowtorch to the hog's face and feet to singe off stubborn hairs. Rodriguez scrubs at the areas he torched with a wire brush. He pulls off the toes by hand. Wow, we're kind of a jerk. What in hell's taking you so long? Orzek rinses the hog with cold water. Rodriguez gives it one last shave with a sharp knife, then drags it to the disembowelers. From there, it's all another foreman's job to think about. Orzek, you got to pick up the pace. Rodriguez, tell him. Rodriguez says something to Orzek. Orzek, do you hear me? Rodriguez can't do it all for you, son of a bitch. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Rodriguez speaks to Orzek. Orzek looks at you. Work faster, work you. He's alright, boss. He understands. He works as hard as I do. Do you think I'm blind, Rodriguez? No, sir, but we're going as fast as we can. You both better go faster, goddamn lazy bastards. Get back to it. The day wears on, sunlight creeping in through small, distant windows. Your head pounds from yelling. Orzek, I swear to God, if we don't get these done today, it's your ass. Good morning, Mr. Aspinall. How are we doing? Mr. Barnes shows his face for the first time today. It's almost noon. You've already broke for lunch. Good morning. Making good time, Mr. Barnes. Splendid. May I steal you away a moment? Of course, sir. Keep it up, men. Mr. Barnes's office is tucked away on the 4th floor. He's filled the air with pipe smoke to protect himself from the smell of the plant. He switches on an electric kettle, puts 2 bags in a teapot, sets out cups with saucers for you both. He sits with a groan. Howard, my boy, how's the wife? She's well. Have you children? Yes, 3 sons and a girl. Wonderful. The grandkids will be visiting us shortly, and Agnes has decided to invite your Mary over. The children are welcome, of course. Our governess is quite capable. He pours hot water in the teapot. She's taken quite an interest in the girl. A bright wife you have. Thank you, sir. I'll tell her to call. Oh yes, she'd like that very much, you know. He drones on about his many decades of marriage, the children, grandchildren, legacy. He sees in them the faces of himself, the propagation of flesh and bone. And is this why he called you here? Is he that lonely? He pours tea for you both. You consider your tea. Let's let the tea cool on its own. No, actually, we want to drink it, so let's blow on it. The sooner you finish your tea, the sooner you'll get back to work. You sip and burn your lips and tongue. You blow and keep sipping, keep burning. A yelp of pain carries over the din of work outside, followed by commotion, men yelling, rushing. Mr. Barnes keeps bragging about his family as though he hasn't heard a thing. Dread chills you to the bone. Excuse me, I have to see what's going on out there. Is something the matter? Work has stopped. The men have gathered around the scraping station, standing dumb. Alright, what's happened? It's Joseph. Let me see. They part. Rodriguez had been using his apron to stop the bleeding, but he drops it now. His hands are filthy, oily, and gray. A gash extends from the base of his thumb through the wrist and up his forearm. Blood dribbles to the floor. The wound is deep. It certainly hit bone and appears to have gone all the way through his hand. The offending blade sits discarded on the floor. Oh man, there's no way you're keeping your arm in this day and age. That arm's gonna either have to be amputated or he's dead. It's Joseph's best knife, the one he kept razor sharp for each hog's final shave. I'm sorry, I was careless. You'll be fine. Go downstairs and call yourself an ambulance. I'll cover for you. Popovich, clean up his blood. Everyone, back to work. Rodriguez and Orzak look at each other and at you. Boss, go. The day passes in frantic, grueling labor. You hardly have to yell. The violent pace you set, scraping, scrubbing, shaving, heaving the hog along, telegraphs your expectations well enough. You aren't worried. You mustn't worry, or everyone might worry. Orzak looks right at you. He sees only the pigs, their filthy skin, the task to scrub them pink. By the end of the day, many hogs remained unprocessed. There was no way to finish them all. Sunday 13, January 1929. Noon. It's one of those bright blue midwinter days with air so cold and dry that your nose hairs freeze crisp. You just got home from church. The service ran 2 hours this morning. Junior and Jeffrey squirmed the whole time. They've run off to their bedroom to wrestle and scream while out of your reach. Did you see Henry's able to follow along with the prayers now? He was reading right along with me. I heard him, yeah. He's already begging for forgiveness like the rest of us sinners. Do you really think he's reading already? He probably just learned the words by ear. Of course he was reading. If you looked at him, you'd know. Well, that's great then. We finally got a genius in the house. For heaven's sake, Howard, what's the matter with you? Don't worry about me. Alright, I won't. I got to go out for a while, just to walk around. Fine. You walk in the middle of the unpaved road where cars and feet have worn a path down through the snow. Dirt peeks through now and then. The main roads have their sidewalks cleared. though few are out to use them. Blue laws force all businesses to keep the Sabbath, so no cinema, no sports, very little shopping, and of course, no bars, nothing to draw a crowd. That is, unless you count the hundreds of secrets barely kept fostered by the temperance years and still running now. You walk south, toward the distant lake. Sharp winds whip your cheeks. Men and women pass you by, tending to their own secrets. Horses pull the odd carriage. Motor cars with families pass. Nestled into alleys, finding what warmth they can pressed against closed doors, the poor huddle. Rarely do you see their faces in wintertime, as they've cocooned themselves in every scrap of cloth that was to be found. Here's one, awake and alive, risen from his bed to beg. Spare any change? Yes. God bless. What little comfort might the token grant? A beer? Tomorrow's sandwich? No worldly act could clear your conscience anyhow. Angry thoughts of Mary simmer away a comforting familiar hate. After 12 years, all she's good for is to serve as an excuse for your bad moods. Down by Dufferin and Queen, sandwiched between a pharmacy and a greengrocer, sits an unmarked boarded-up shop. If you walk around the back, hidden by the grocer's rubbish skip, you'll find a door to that unmarked, boarded-up shop. You've been here many times before. Hello, Doc. The only bartender the unnamed joint has ever known. He's always calm and gentle as a Saint Bernard. What'll it be? Whatever's on tap. The joint's half full, not bad for so early in the day. Solemn, lonely men post up at the bar, while chatty friends take up tables around the room. The most energetic dance, try to get their friends to dance too. Take your spot at the bar. Your old co-worker Robbie showed you this place many years ago. Robbie, always ancient with his white mustache and chronic cough, who got sick and retired years back. Robbie didn't come around docks anymore. You check the obituaries when you get the strength. He hasn't died yet. Probably. Say, Doc, let's get something stronger in me. Club's fine? Why not? Still working through this batch. You should see the cases. It's quite the sight. Hundreds of them, easy. The whiskey goes down like water, and Doc keeps filling you up. Another man drinking alone, red-faced and blonde-haired, takes the seat beside you. Drunk? Did you see the game last night? F***ing Americans, a bunch of sons of bitch they are, eh? One of them right there in the crowd, cheering him on. He don't care what we yell at him to sit his ass down. We shut him out for a long time, but the bastards pulled it out. And let me tell ya, Buddy lost his f***ing mind, laughing at all us booing like a bunch of jackasses. Waving his little flag. Yeah, I didn't go, got a family and all. I took the kids, what do you think I am, a stuck-up prig? Alright, that's enough, leave him alone, Howard's not one for conversation. F*** you, and Howard, f*** you and your f***ing family too. Get the hell out. The drunk looks around, no one pays him any mind. He pokes you in the chest, then leaves. You drink more, you black out and lose time. You come to in the middle of a story. The kid was nuts, he must have been 100 pounds soaking wet, and he thought he was showing off, but when I took the side down off the hook, boom, down went the both of them. Turned his ankle, he was off work for a week, but it was worth it to shut him the hell up. You laugh, and a few around you laugh too, but you don't know them, and you don't know why you would have told that story. That was Joseph Rodriguez, back when he was just a skinny kid, new on the job. He went to his funeral a week ago, the infection took its time, but it got him. If they'd amputated, maybe he would have lived, but he had been determined to save his arm. Yeah, there's no way. You are 100% going to get an infection and die from it if you don't amputate. Mary didn't go with you. Why would you ever set foot in a Romish church? The kid's family's Catholic. So the little Polac's that important to you then? Wow, racist. You've hardly talked since. You've been seeing Joseph's face every time you close your eyes. His smile, his pain. Boss. Joseph. I'll be fine, right? Don't worry. Right. We need to get back to work, boss. Hurry. Faster. Faster, you son of a bitch. Are you deaf? Don't you speak English? I'm trying. I've been covering for you, you know? How's that going? I can't do it fast enough. Me either. I'm sorry, I was careless. Say again? Oh, I don't know what I said either. Yeah, you're pushing your workers to work fast and they get careless and then they hurt themselves. Doc pours you one last beer. And with that, I'm cutting you off. Fly blown. When you stumble out of docks, the sun has long since set. Check watch. 7:15. Mira and the kids would be sitting down for supper, listening to one of her records in dull obedience. There's time enough for a long walk to sober you up. With any luck, when you get home, the kids will already be down for the night, and you can slip off to bed while Mary tunes into this week's Atwater Kent. He loved music, once. The fiddle, guitar, harmonica of a child. Music was celebration and joy. It was your father in one of his good moods. Now, every sound is a violation, unwanted vibrations with no right to rattle your inner ear. Worst of all are the ostentatious, penetrating howls of opera singers, desperate for volume, demanding and needy. Let Mary subject herself to that as she pleases. Sunday nights are the closest the city can get to silence. Everything closed, families indoors, drinkers tucked into their muffled speakeasies. You walk north in Roncesvalles, watching your own shadow mutate and glide across the sidewalk and street. Tenement windows cast your reflection, all hat and coat, featureless. An unmarked dirt road trails west. Your feet follow. The road is lined with fine middle-class houses just like yours. The streetlights grow fewer, and then they stop. The quiet swells as you approach the dark. You pause. Your eyes adjust. The road drops into a ravine, its stream frozen for winter. One of the trenches where men, children, and animals can hide from the city of churches, Toronto the Good. A shadow among shadows brushes past, a puff of air on your pant leg. It disappears into the brush. Pursue? It wouldn't be wise to do so. We're a little bit drunk and it is late, so no. Heart pounding, you retreat to the safety of streetlights. Beyond their warm halogen glow, you search blindly for movement. It was just a cat chasing mice. Your voice is heard but not felt. Looking down, you see your body, but it is not yours. The sound and sight of yourself are suddenly revealed a dream you don't own, a trick and a lie. You must get out of the light. You walk along the river bluff, away from the lake. It's quieter than you've had in years, with just your own footsteps to muck it up. Faint starlight filters down through the bare trees, casting a thin web of shadows on leaf litter and snow. The smell of death hits. You catch yourself on a branch as the world spins. Doubled over, figures sprint past in your peripherals. You taste blood. When you right yourself, the shadows haven't stopped running. The blur fills the riverbed to overflowing, to flooding, running backwards, flowing north. You're swept up in the stampede. You tumble forward and on. And on. And on. You came to, battered and sore. To your right, guns. Your left, the stockyard. Row on row of stock cars, caked in animal waste. Even in freezing cold, they reek. You are used to the smell, but you could never get over it, not at this scale. You swallow a gag. Cow eyes stare glowing through the grates of a stock car. Hello? They do not falter and you have to turn away. Guns. It looks the same as it does every black morning, but you feel in the air that you are absolutely alone, save for the animals. Your skin crawls under the stark, industrial white of arc lights. They are designed to lay criminals bare, to prevent theft and sabotage by forcing you to see yourself, to know you are seen. You know that the stampede still runs out of sight. The winds rush the guns. They beckon you to follow. You let yourself in, thick, rancid air like a grease trap in summer. Electric light filters in from outside, just enough to see. Noise above, footsteps and buzzing. Go to the killing floor? Others run upstairs as you do, small and agile as squirrels, but obscure. Friday's half-finished hogs didn't make it to the freezer. In winter, with the radiator off, the whole plant gets cold enough for meat to keep. But someone left the heat on. The thick, fetid stench draws scavengers who eat their fill. Their droppings draw flies which buzz around you now. Shadows dart under the drained grate of the floor, the lowest scum suckers hungry for blood. Your nerves pluck like a guitar string as your heart stops and your spirit shoots out, hanging midair as time slows to a crawl. Frantic, you look around. There's no one to be seen. Who goes there? Mr. Barnes? Not quite. Not at all. Where are you? Come closer, dear boy. What's the matter with you? Ought not you be with your family at this hour? Never mind her. Come to me. You can't mean... To where the shadows crawl and the buzzing grows loudest. Approach. A hive mound of cancerous flesh emerges from below the grate. It oozes through the metal without struggle or pain. You, what are you? What are you? I've allowed you at last to see me, yet in seeing the less you understand. Small creatures skitter, spider-like, between hog and mound. Larger ones scamper up the stairs, unload their weight on the mound, then dash, now tiny and swift, out the window. They are meat, a fowl and bone, snouts and teeth, hooves, fingers and toes, and the eyes, cloudy, vacant eyes. Larvae crawl, beetles hunt larvae, the nest grows. Your spirits returned, trapped again in flesh. Sweat, hair, dander, even your blood has already found me. How much of you has been shed, more than you retain? Countless fine scars on your hands, never serious. You have always been careful, but to keep pace you had to accept some pain. You hesitate. Don't you recognize me? Faces appear, shifting in the murk of its form. Boss. Rodriguez? He is gone. I am more than any one man, while you are less. Hail what I am, not what you want me to be. I am your completion. I do not need your devotion, but in devoting yourself, you will be free. Declare fealty? You fall to your knees and raise your palms to the fly blown. A critter clambers up your back. Small claws poke holes in your coat. It sits on your shoulder. You are petrified. A prick in your neck, the lapping of blood. The weight of your shoulder grows. Now full, the critter crawls to your outstretched palms. Its belly is distended, its limbs small and weak. You bow to deliver the critter to the fly blown. Its stomach bursts, christening your hands. blood drips between your fingers, falling to the mound. The critter rights itself and runs off, always with more work to do. Swear to be bound by your duties, and I will ease your burdens. I swear. The knowledge rings through you like a brass bell. Rodriguez is there, somewhere inside of the mass. He's only hiding. Repeat, I submit. I submit to the guidance of the new hand. To the guidance of the new hand. Limitless in its wisdom. Breathtaking in scope. I surrender my life. My still beating heart. Devoted in motion to service the flesh ever growing. I'm small, but I have been chosen. The dead do not die. They live as one with the maggots and rats, as my body lives. They transform as I have. We enter your guiltless dominion as feeble strivers, but in your providence, we advance. Very good. The flesh ripples before you like a lake would tremble with pleasure. A weight falls from your shoulders. Your body is loose as a silk slip on a laundry line. Destiny will carry you forward through time evermore. The river may flood, but you will never drown. Wow. At first I was suspecting that we were killing our employees in order to feed the pigs or something due to the title. I think that all of the incidents and tragedies that happen at his work do eat away at his conscience. The fly blown could be a symbol of him losing his humanity, even though it did mention that, Joseph does remind him that he's a human. But after his passing, it seems like that might have changed. I can't say for certain, that's just what I got out of it. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, I really like the art style. The ambiance in the music was very tasteful. I would say this visual novel is a very classy one. But yeah, we're gonna call it here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Link to the game will be in the description. Other than that, take it easy.